Good day, traders. Stacey Burke from Stacey Burke Trading. Daily currency levels, pound crosses, Friday, April 24th. Today on our major news calendar, we have the retail sales at 2 p.m. coming up very shortly on the British pound. And then 4 p.m. we have the German IFO business climate. And 8:30 tonight, New York AM time, we have core durable goods left on our major news releases. First up is our pound Aussie. Again, just looking at our 4-hour chart from the week, we have traders short above that 9,500 area. We potentially have a support level coming in yesterday down at the 93.37 level. And currently we're trading inside of both of those long and short positions. The 9,500 may act as a potential area of selling if the market was to come up there and possibly stop hunt that gap, or we may see the market pull back down towards the lows and even just head into consolidation. We could end up having a move that takes out one of these extremes, again into the upper 9,500 box, or coming off of that upper box heading back down towards today's low. Currently we obviously, just paying attention to the week, we've had one push down, 2 pushes down, 3 pushes down on a 1, 2, 3. So this could possibly be a reversal that comes back up towards the gap up at that 95.29 area, and even perhaps heading back towards the high of that swing on the last leg down up into that upper 9,500 box. When we look at our 15-minute chart, we can see 1 push, 2 push, 3 pushes into the low last night before pulling back into consolidation and then shifting above the double zeros into that upper 50 pip box. This market could continue in a trending fashion today. Again, we got a micro trend line that's still intact. This market could end up retesting the upper 9,500 box and head back towards yesterday's high. Currently, we don't see any break in that micro trend line. We could see the market break that trend line, retest the high, and sell off, or breakout pullback, continue the move back towards the swing high at 9,500. Next up is our pound Canadian. Again, on our 4-hour chart, we see that market has largely been in a range-bound market, selling off of 7,500. We briefly found support at last week's low yesterday and early this morning down at that 73.30 level. Currently the market is trading sideways underneath of that breakdown from yesterday's 7,500 level. So again, we could see this market head towards the lows, clearing out last week's stops and heading towards the low of 2 weeks ago. On our 15-minute chart, again, we can see that market broke down on Tuesday before consolidating into an inside bar on Wednesday, and then yesterday breaking the low of Wednesday and going into consolidation again. We have stops above yesterday's swing highs up around that 74.30 area, and obviously last night's low down around 73.30. Currently trading sideways underneath of the double zeros. Possibly could get a sell-off double zeros for the continuation of that move down, or a breakthrough into that upper double zero box for a continuation back through last night's swing high towards yesterday's high of the day. Currently sideways inside the 50 pip box. Next up is our pound Swiss. On our 4-hour chart, we see that market again. We've had a fairly large pullback that broke through the upper double zero box at 2,000 yesterday. Currently, that market's trading sideways. It's cleared out stops from that earlier short. Now we have stops at the high of the week and down at the low of the week, and we're in a micro trend heading long. Bit of a somewhat of a squeeze as we head towards the high of the week. Again, when we look at our 15-minute chart, we can see that micro trend line that we had from yesterday stayed intact. Traders who participated long got their 50 pips pretty quick, and that market had a micro trend line break on the rollover this morning and is currently again testing that upper boundary of stops from Monday's swing highs up around that 2075 area. So again, this may be a micro trend line break with a retest heading back towards the high of the week, somewhere in that 2100 area. Again, right now trading above 2050, below 2100. Depending on how the market handles that 2050 area heading into the Europe Open, we could see this market roll over and test the lows of the day and yesterday's swing lows, or break down to 50 and pull back and resume that upward drive through the high of the day. When we look at our 15-minute chart, again, we see that micro trend line intact, but just to reiterate, we may have a bit of a squeeze happening. We had a micro sort of double top at the highs of yesterday. And again, just interesting chart, traders, but we'll look for possibly a retest of that high and maybe a move back down. Next up is our pound yen, our 4-hour chart. Again, we have a consolidated range. That market's trading between shorts from earlier in the week and then longs at the bottom. There are obviously stops on both sides of that range. That market's been trading largely sideways in a 50 to 75 pip box. We pinned up top yesterday. When we look at our 15-minute chart, we can see this a bit clearer, how the market is, for the most part, been trading sideways around 3,300, 50 pips roughly on either side. Currently, we're trading and coming off of the 3,300 area. There'd be stops above the high of the day. Currently testing the low of the day. We could see that market retest yesterday's lows and possibly even the lows of Wednesday. If we had one more pullback up to double zeros, this market could just continue down and issue a stop hunt right through the lows, possibly giving us a trade back somewhere down lower for a stop hunt back up later in the session. Our pound New Zealand, on our 4-hour charts, we can see this market's been trading basically in that 250 pip box. We had shorts participate up top at 750. We had long traders off the bottom at the 500 level. We still have stops intact from last week and the 2 weeks ago's swing lows. We have stops in place from last night's pullback off that 500 level. Currently, we're inside of that range. This market could end up testing either side and breaking through, or just coming down, finding support and retesting the swing highs of the day. When we look at our 15-minute chart, we can see this market has drove down last night into the 500 level. Traders who would have participated in that 915 video would have been long off the bottom for 50 pips. Again, that market consolidated into the close, and then this morning shifted up another 50 from 100 pips from last night's low. It has consolidated on that double zeros with one push, two push, three pushes into the numbers. We may find that this market retests the highs and goes back after yesterday's swing highs from the short sellers that were short at the end of that 12 candle window in the Europe-London rollover up around 675, 700 area, currently sideways at the 600 level double zero box. Again, this market has the potential to possibly retest the highs. And lastly, we have the pound USD. Again, on our 4-hour chart, we can see this market again as another pair that's sort of traded in consolidated tight range the last couple days. We have stops at the low of the week down at that 2250 area, and obviously stops above last night's pin high on the US Open at that 2414 area. When we look at our 15-minute chart, we see a possible peak formation was put in place yesterday after the Bank of Japan made announcements. And again, that market's pulled down and consolidated. We have a sell-off that's just occurred at 2350 heading into the end of Asia. Depending on how this market handles the swing lows from yesterday, this market could continue to keep trending all the way down. It is Friday. This market has the potential to roll over and keep moving right down through the lows of the week. However, it could find support anywhere from that 2300 area up, and market will have to monitor to see how it handles these stops. But currently this market has gone sideways underneath the peak formation, and it has the potential to possibly continue to trend all the way down through the lows of the week. Just in closing, a quote by Sun Tzu: "All war is based on deception. Don't get caught into false moves and the traps on the stop hunts. Step back, have a look at the big picture, traders. Remember, we talked about the 4-hour, 1-hour, and 15-minute charts coinciding at the same times. There's going to be 50 pips again today in the London session and the New York sessions, without a doubt. Stay disciplined, stay focused. Hopefully you had a great trading week. Focus on ending the week on a strong note. Execute your trading process to the best of your ability, and may the markets go with you. Enjoy your weekend.
Hi traders, it's Stacey Burke from Stacey Burke Trading. If you haven't done so, please head over to my website at staceyburketrading.com. I create updates on almost a daily basis, and I would love for you to receive them. Just click on the blog. If you want to enter your name and your email address, I'll send you my free audio program, the 7-Step Daily Routine for High-Performance Traders. This is essential knowledge for all traders in all markets, and this is for helping traders to master the market with discipline, confidence, and a winning mindset. I appreciate all your feedback and comments. As always, traders, stay disciplined, and may the markets go with you.